What is going on, guys? It's your boy K-Mac, and real quick, this is not my gameplay, at least the first half of this was not my gameplay. It is actually something I was playing with a couple members of FaZe Clan, and I went on the theater mode, and I went through and recorded what they saw. Whatever, don't worry about that. What we're here to talk about today is, we are here to talk about another cartoon conspiracy theory. Today we're going to be going over the Recess Theory. Now, Recess is a little less known. Also, this gameplay kind of jumps around a little bit. I didn't record it all in one motion. Anyway, Recess is a little lesser known cartoon. I believe it was on ABC in the mornings, maybe. I don't really remember. I remember watching it sometimes. I know it wasn't on Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network, so I didn't watch it all too much. But this theory is probably one of my all-time favorite theories, probably second best behind the Rugrats Theory. So let's go ahead and jump right in and see what it has to offer. So let's jump right in. The beginning of this theory is that all of the kids are the same age and they're all in the same grade. We might be thinking, well, that's not a big deal. There's plenty of kids in second grade, and it's pretty normal. I mean, every class has a good amount of kids. Why is that something to be, taken as a cartoon conspiracy theory? Well, I'm going to explain it to you. Basically, it's kind of like the other theory that I did, where Eddy Theory, where all the characters are from a different time period, and they are all dead. Now, I'm going to try to do a better job of explaining to you. I know it's a lot of information to take in, like they're all dead. But if you think about it, it actually makes pretty good sense, and it actually holds a lot of water. So, the 3rd Street School was built after World War I. TJ, which was the main character with the backwards hat, was among the first students to attend. He was always a strong leader. He was the 4th grade president in 1928. When the Great Depression began, however, the current president at the time was making budget cuts and lunched certain items, attempting to lead a revolt. TJ was hit by an ice cream truck during a student walkout in 1929, and that's how he died. So that's why he's there. Next up is Mikey, the taller, gentler one. He transferred to the school shortly after TJ's death and started 1st grade in 1929, 1930-ish area. He was always hungry and demanding food. However, he was a kind and gentle person, causing no harm to students around him, but he was generally just a nice guy. In 1931, he was diagnosed with diabetes type 1. Feeling depressed, he ate an insane amount of chocolate bars to help him cope with this. That's why he's always eating, always asking for chocolate bars and always asking for ho-hos and cookies and shit. But he died in a diabetic coma shortly after he began his 4th grade in 1932. So that's why he was there. That's just 2 of the characters, and it gets creepier as we go on. All these characters have really, really good backstories. And next up is Spinelli. Spinelli, as you remember, was the tough-acting tomboy girl that was kind of like a gangster. And she began attending the school in 1933, right after Mikey's death, which is right around like the Al Capone era, the gangsters, the good fellas of like the Chicagos and all of the Midwest, which makes perfect sense why she's Spinelli. She's the gangster, she's the, the gangster's son, or the gangster's daughter, and it's pretty cool, actually. It makes perfect sense that she would fit in right on this timeline. And she's actually died in a fight on the schoolyard grounds in 1936. It was during her 2nd year of 4th grade, because she failed it because, I don't know, she was apparently not a very good student. But she now hangs with the rest of the gang, and is the gang's bodyguard. She's always a tough guy whenever they get into fights. She's always the first one to jump in and want to fight because, she's a fighter. That's what she does. Her parents, or her dad, was a gangster, and she died in a street fight, so it makes perfect sense why she would be the tough guy. Next up is Randall. He started attending the school in 1944, and he always dreamed of being a reporter. And he often worked as the quote-unquote muckraker. If you don't know what that is, it's like a person that tries and digs out these stories that's going to really stir up dirt on someone. They try exposing the truth behind something. It's what that is. Despised by the gang, especially by Spinelli, Randall one day caught a random bystander beating up a tiny 2nd grader in 1946. He told the principal, and basically the kid that he told on came back and beat him to death. Pretty much just killed him, and that's why he's dead, and that's why he's always reporting things, that he's always got a notepad, he's always taking notes, he's always trying to tell on someone, he's always a little snitch about things. That's why the way he is, and he's still known as 3rd Street's best snitch. It makes perfect sense, really, especially for that time period. There was a lot of reporters, a lot of reporting going on, especially with World War II, ending, wrapping up around then. Makes perfect sense. And you could just by the way he dresses and the style of glasses, it really reminds me of a 1940s. It's just really creepy if you go back and look at all of what they're wearing and what they actually look like. The characters, whether like their glasses or their shirts or anything like that. It really reflects the time period that they're coming from, and it's really cool when you think about it. And it's just like something you never knew. But next up is Gus. Now, Gus began attending the school in 1951, and he was probably one of the first people to actually start seeing these ghosts on the playground. That's where all of these ghosts, because they all died in the 4th grade, this is where it all starts getting tied together. All of these characters died in the 4th grade while they're attending the same school. So they all would come, all their ghosts reincarnated would come back to the playground. And that's where Gus was the first person to start see them, and they were pretty much his only friends, and this led to him being outcast and ostracized by everyone who thought he was crazy because he saw a ghost and only talked to ghosts and pretty much was only talking to himself, and it led to him getting picked on an awful lot. And actually he ended up getting killed walking back from school one day. I think it was he went to a coma from getting beat up while he's walking back from school from bullies. Seemed to be an awful lot of bullies beating people up at this school. I don't know if I would send my children there. But anyway, he ended up dying on New Year's Day, 1954, and he's now viewed as the nerdy kid of the group and often keeping to himself to avoid bullies and stuff like that. Next up is Tyler's and the Ashleys. Now these are both brothers and the set of sisters that are more of the higher end. They're like the rich kids on the playground. You know, they have the nice things. They're always talking about having money. They're always doing things like that. But they were all at a sleepover on 1958, I believe the theory goes, and a serial killer came in to rob the place, and one of the Tyler brothers noticed, and he ended up stabbing all 4 of them. So it was a mass murder, and it was a huge traumatic event, and that's how they died. So that's why, and of course they're all in 4th grade when this happened, so that's why they roamed the playground. That's probably one of the darker ways one of these people have made it to the playground. And it would suck to be murdered when you're in 4th grade, but that's just how this theory goes. Moving on, now the next one up is the last member of the actual group, is Gretchen, the tall, nerdy girl with the glasses. Actually, you know what, there's 2 more members to this. There's a tall black kid too, so forget that. But anyway, back to Gretchen. She started attending 3rd Street School in 1962, and she was very intelligent. She's really into science, and she was really into the science fair, and she won it every year up through 3rd grade. Now, in 1965, when she was in 4th grade, she had this genius plan, and she had a great project put together, but one of the other students at the fair in her school actually stole her project and took credit for it and actually won the fair, and she got 2nd place or didn't place at all or whatever. She didn't win, and she was so upset about it that she went home and committed suicide, and that's how Gretchen came to be. That's why she's on the playground, and that's why she's so smart and nerdy, and she often, tries to teach the other kids about science and things like that, because she was really into it. She really loves science fairs. So anytime there's any mention of that, she's all over that. But like I said, she did commit suicide because someone else stole her project and won the prize. Next up on the playground, as you remember, there's 2 diggers, Digger Sam and Dave. They began attending 3rd Street School in 1968, shortly after Gretchen's death. And for some reason, or why not, I don't know why, but they were really into digging. I think it has something to do with their dad being a coal miner, and they ended up exploring an old abandoned coal mine. When they were in 4th grade, they snuck away and then were walking through this old abandoned coal mine while it collapsed. And they were trapped for up to, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, and they ended up starving to death. And it was very tragic, and they were never actually found, but the last person who saw them go into a coal mine, and then that coal mine subsequently collapsed. So people put 1 and 1 together, and that's how they end up dying. That's why they're on the playground, and that's why they're always digging shit. They're always digging up the playground. They're always making, tunnels and caves and all kinds of weird shit like that. But next up on the list is Vince. Now, Vince is the last person to join the gang. He attended the school in 1978, just as the disco was becoming popular. That's why he's got the big afro hair, and he's got all the, the jive move, and he's always talking kind of like a hipster. But so was really into basketball. It was pretty much the golden age of basketball back in the late 70s, early 80s, with the the Lakers and the Celtics at the time were being very, very popular, and basketball was getting very popular, and he took a huge interest in this, and that's why he's always playing sports and all kinds of things like that. But he ended up tripping and breaking his leg, and he was no longer able to play basketball, and he tried to take his own life because of it, but he ended up failing. So because of that, he was sent to an insane asylum, and at the insane asylum, he was actually murdered by another insane patient when he was, I don't know, probably 10, 11, so after his 4th grade year, but right before his 5th grade year, so he's still technically in 4th grade, so that's why he roams the playground, and that's why he's there, and it's really, really creepy. And one more person later in 1991, King Bob, who is the king of the playground, and always the guy that's on the giant chair and makes all the big decisions, he died in 1991 after being voted class president. That's why he's the ruler. He doesn't really talk about how much he died. I think his dad actually walked in on his mom having an affair and then had a murder-suicide thing going on. I don't know. I'm not really sure on that one. It's not really clear about that, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But after this, due to all these tragedies and all the school was getting old by this time, it had opened, it had been open for like almost 120 years at this point. It's getting pretty run down, and all of these students dying in the 4th grade was getting really creepy, and people started to take notice to it and stopped sending their children there. So after that, the school was shut down shortly after King Bob's death in 1991, and has been abandoned ever since. They didn't tear it down, it's just an abandoned building, and the playground is still there. And that's where this show actually takes place. That's why there's no one to disturb all of these ghosts that are apparently there, all in the 4th grade. They have the entire playground and school to themselves pretty much, and they get to run free, doing whatever they want and living out their childhood dreams. They get the whole playground. It's constantly recess. That's the best part. They don't really ever see them in class or hear them talk about class. They're always at recess. Hence why the name of the show is Recess. This is because they're ghosts and they don't want to go to class, so they decide not to go to class. It's always recess, and there's always something fun going on. There's always some kind of dodgeball tournament. There's always some kind of, digging going on for the diggers. There's always something going on for all the characters, and it is because they are all dead, and it's because they're all ghosts, and it's all inside their minds because they're all dead, obviously. But that pretty much wraps up this theory. If you guys could go ahead and leave this video a like. I put a lot of work into this one, a lot of research. If you guys could do that, it'd be very much appreciated. It helps out my channel immensely. If you guys are new around here, you guys can feel free to subscribe. I make these videos weekly with new theories. I also do all kinds of tips and tricks for Call of Duty, Halo, and Gears of War, and all kinds of gaming news about PS4, Xbox 720, all kinds of fun stuff like that. So if you're new around here, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Like I said, like the video if you haven't already. And that's it, guys. Game the fuck on. Until next time, peace out. Like I said before, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys drop a like, it'd be very much appreciated. You don't have to, no pressure. And maybe check out one of my previous videos where I talk about Halo 4 or another cartoon conspiracy theory. Go ahead and check them out. I have them all on a playlist in my channel. And that's it, guys. Have a good day. Game the fuck on. Till next time. Peace out.